Welcome to Vino with Vito. We have Dave today. We're going to try something new. We have a lot of people that want to come on, but today we said, you know what? We're going to talk just Dave and I about real estate in general. And by the way, Dave did not bring the wine again, but we did have a nice bottle of Italian Primitivo, which I'm going to open up. Should I give Dave some? Yeah, why not?
Well, Vito, thanks again for having me. Really enjoy, co-hosting with you, and thanks for inviting me. So I must be doing something good. It's definitely not bringing the wine.
It's definitely not bringing the wine.
I think you should probably get a mechanical wine opener.
You know what? My daughter gave me one of those for Christmas. Actually, you put it on the bottle and it just opens it
Yeah.
up.
Why don't you bring that?
Yeah, this is a lot more fun though.
Now, who made this? I was watching it with my son. I was watching the show on YouTube, which, by the way, I suggest everyone subscribe to your podcast on YouTube. It's awesome. You can watch it on your TV. And my son was asking, "Hey, that's a pretty cool box. What's the story behind this box?"
My daughter Victoria got it for me.
She made it.
She got it. She got it made for me, and my daughter Luciana got me the wine glasses.
I love it. I
Look
love it.
at
It's really
that,
nice.
huh?
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Vino with Vito.
I love it.
And we get to put the cork right in there. You know what? We'll leave it out. We'll put it in at the end.
Oh.
How's that?
Well, speaking of nice, as a tradition on Vino with Vito is we have to take a look at your shirt.
Uh-oh.
So we have a new Robert Graham shirt. Or is this an older one?
No, this is actually a new Robert Graham shirt. It's a limited edition.
Thank you.
It's a little bit quieter than all the other shirts, huh?
Is it though, or can we get the camera on his back? Or yeah, I mean that. Okay, can you turn around again for a second?
Look.
Is that a tree or what is that?
I have no idea what it is, but I liked it when I saw it. And Mr. Robert Graham, Jerry, Julian, thank you for picking this one out
Wow.
for me, but something different. And again, I enjoy wearing these shirts.
It's fantastic. Thank God we're on a YouTube channel, because if we were just on a podcast, no one would see it. It's amazing. I was telling you, I was across the country, and and I was talking to somebody and for business, and they knew your podcast because of your shirt. It's unbelievable.
See that?
See?
Look at
I mean,
that.
you're
Did
becoming.
you put me on the big screen?
I put you on the big screen,
Wow,
and it's
I like that.
so there you go. You're doing something right. So
Good.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, salute.
Salute.
Let's try this Italian wine.
very nice. Good,
Very nice. I'm glad I picked it and you didn't bring it.
Well, Vito, so what we want to do, like you mentioned, I know you always have guests on. We're going to try to do something a little bit different here. I'm going to actually interview you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like
so,
that.
Yeah.
I like it.
So, there's a lot of topics we could talk about. But what I want to do is, from the last time we were on, I think it was towards the end of 2023, kind of give us an update on what you're doing, what's selling, this and that. So at the time of this filming, it's January 12th, 24. We want to just kind of get an idea of what's going on, right? So why don't you update us first on you personally, what you have on the market, what's sold, anybody that's out there looking to buy, kind of tell them what's available to them.
Well, right now, what's available, I just listed 23 Club Road in Fairfield. Large center hall colonial, about 3,000 square feet with an in-ground pool. Great price, $699.9. Put it on last week. We had quite a few showings. I have one offer on it already. Great house. I also put
I'm sorry, taxes on that?
taxes are right around $10,000.
That's great.
But it does require, flood insurance like 85% of Fairfield does.
Okay.
I have a rental still on Stiles Lane, $29.95, 2-bedroom, 2-bath in Montville. And I believe I let everybody know I put 165 Fox Chase back on the market in Chester, 1.3 million, 5 bedrooms, very large home with the 3rd floor. You're talking almost 6,000 square feet. Wow. Beautiful home. And just closed on a few properties. I closed on Beach Street in Butler, $479 asking price. We got 520 for it. So we got about 40,000 over the asking price. It
That's
was
fantastic.
all redone. Yeah, great house, great starter home, which is a little insane now. Think about it, a starter home
For 520.
for 520.
It's unbelievable.
It's just a crazy market we're in.
I remember, you've been doing this just about as long as me, almost 25 years. I remember average loan size is
50,000,
160,000.
yep.
That's a loan,
Yeah.
it's just insane.
Then I closed on 21 Addison Drive in Fairfield. The asking price was $599.9, and we actually got $710,000 for the house.
Wait, hold on. So you had 110?
$110,100 over the asking price. I had multiple offers, great buy level, 4 bedrooms, 3 full baths, but $110,100 over the asking price. And then
Can we stop there for a second? So why, I saw that on Facebook, and I was like, wow, 110,000 over, right? So some of it I know is the market related, right? But not all of it. Like if it was market related, every house would sell over $100,000, right? So how are you able to get your seller that much more money? Like what do you do different?
Naturally, my marketing techniques are different than other people's marketing techniques, and I'm not going to say it because, again, they're going to.
You have your own.
I have my own way of doing things.
So you have your own specific marketing
plans.
Okay.
Right. And then besides, with 21 Addison, I listed 6 Bel Air Drive in Fairfield also,
Sure.
a 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch with a 2-car garage and a full unfinished basement on a nice dead end.
Yep.
And I did it again. 110,100 over asking.
Wow.
110,100, just like Addison, over the asking price.
On 2 homes, you're 100.
On 2 homes,
Wow.
back to back.
Both in Fairfield.
Both in Fairfield. How great is that? Why would you call anybody else when you're looking to sell in Fairfield than Vito Cantuzzi?
So how many homes are for sale in Fairfield right now?
Right now, you have about 10 homes for sale.
And you've sold about 3 of them.
Within the past
Within the
2
past
months,
month,
I think I closed 4 houses in Fairfield.
So
2 of them I actually was on both ends of it.
So you're involved. Let's just use Fairfield, right, as an example. That's your home base.
Right.
So you're rolling at about 60% of the transactions in Fairfield right now. And I understand it's a smaller number. It's January and whatnot, but still, you are Mr. Fairfield, right? Is that fair to say?
Fair to say, yep. A lot of people actually call me that. Carolyn El Grande, one of the attorneys I deal with, she always says Mr. Fairfield, correct.
Would you say you're the highest producing realtor in Fairfield?
One of them, again, because times change. It goes up and down. I mean, right now the inventory is so limited, it depends if you get the listings or not.
Right.
Do we have buyers? Yeah, we have a lot of buyers. I have a lot of buyers for Fairfield. But when you're running into a situation with limited inventory and you have so many buyers out there, you're not going to get it all the time.
Okay. Do you have any other homes you want to talk about? Or
right now, I mean, the inventory is so slow. I just wish we can have more inventory out there to show buyers.
Well, if you're getting returns like this on your homes, why wouldn't more people list?
That's the question. I mean, this is the best time to list. Everybody says, okay, it's the winter time. Nobody's out there looking in the winter. Absolutely not. Everybody's still out there. The market is just as busy now as it is in the spring.
Yep.
So now, if you think about saying, okay, I want to sell my house, well, I'll wait till the spring. How many other people do you think are thinking that?
Everyone.
Everybody's thinking that, right?
Right.
So what happens with your supply and demand? If you have 10 people that decide to put their house, I'm just using Fairfield as an example,
Sure.
and 10 people decide to put their house on the market March 1st. Hey, it's spring, I'm going to put my house on the market March 1st. Now, all of a sudden, out of those 10 homes, 3, 4 might be similar homes. What does that do to your value?
Right. Goes up.
But it also can go down
Yeah.
because now people have 3 or 4 houses to go look at.
Oh, right, exactly.
It goes
correct,
down.
Correct.
It
right.
doesn't go up.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yep.
But now, if you're the only one that decides to put their house on January 13th, okay, and you have 10 people that want that one house, what does that do for your value? It makes it go up.
Correct.
You got nothing to look at.
Well, and I was reading a report from the National Association of Realtors that rent is actually renters and rent price are actually coming down. So that's another factor, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's another factor in where, if you want to list your home, right, that now is a good time because, as rents go down, you're going to, maybe the pool of buyers will not shrink drastically, but you'll lose a little bit. People will say, okay, now rent's more affordable, I'll rent, right? So you may want to, and there's not like one answer in real estate, right? There's so many like spokes on the wheel of what needs to happen. And, but that's one thing too, is that, I know that if rent's going down and I want to sell something, and I know in a later episode, we're going to talk about some benefits and what's happening for sellers, but I think now would be a great time to list.
Oh yeah. I mean, if I was thinking about moving myself, hey, my house would have been on the market already, you know? Why not?
Yep.
Take advantage of those prices. What could happen? You were through it. You remember in 07, in 08, in 09 when the light switch shut off?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I don't think it's going to happen again.
No.
But it can happen.
Yep.
What could affect prices?
A lot of things.
A lot of things can affect prices.
If the economy turns, right? So like right now we have a very strong and resilient economy, right?
Correct.
If the economy turns and let's say unemployment spikes up, yes, it's good for interest rates. Interest rates typically tend to lower, but if unemployment goes higher and people are not working on a bigger pool of workers, you're going to have less buyers as well. Yeah. And then what happens is your house sits on the market, and then your price will have to drop. You'll drop the price to sell, right? So right now, you're not seeing that.
And you hit it. You hit the nail right on the head. Okay, if interest rates drop because the economy's getting bad, right? Mm-hmm. Economy gets bad, interest rates drop. Everybody's saying, I want interest rates to drop so I can go buy a house.
Right.
Okay, hopefully the prices will go down, interest rates drop, and whatever.
Right.
But think about it. If the economy goes south, interest rates drop, you're out of a job. You're not buying
a house. Correct.
You're done.
Right.
But now, even though interest rates are a little higher and, the economy's doing good, you have a job, and why wouldn't you buy a house?
Right.
If you're in that market to buy a house. You can always refinance.
Yep. Correct.
If the market decides to, the economy turns south, interest rates start dropping afterwards, you know what? Turn around, refinance, and now guess what? You got a great deal on your house.
So another question for you, right? And this is something, even on the mortgage end we run into, right? So in a perfect world, you look at it and you say, okay, I'm getting $110,000 over listing for my house, right? But I'm sure the question I see even when I'm pre-approving my clients is, yeah, that's great. I get $100,000 more. I could get the highest I ever did for my home, the highest price. However, where am I going? There's no houses on the market. So you're kind of running into this, this wall, right? Like, yeah, I could get the most for my house, but I have nowhere to go. So two-part question, right? Number one is, how do you advise your clients, right? Your sellers? And two, how do you, what is your estimation? I won't hold you to it, but what's your estimation to how long you think the market will start to balance out? Because right now it's a little ill-balanced, right? In the favor of the sellers.
Absolutely.
So what do you see? So let's start with the first one. What do you advise your clients, like your sellers that say that?
I mean, you have a seller say they're at retirement age, right? Okay. Everybody's mentality is, okay, I'm going to downsize. I'm going to sell my big house. I'm going to buy a smaller house. But there's nothing smaller for me to buy right now. But guess what? There's nothing big for somebody else to buy right now.
Right.
Okay? You want to downsize. I mentioned this in, I believe it was my first podcast episode, okay? And I was actually talking to my cousin today about this because he's got a big house. His daughter's getting married. His son's already married. and I believe his house is like 4,500, 5,000 square feet.
Okay.
All right. And we were talking about him, we were talking about me, we were, in general. Now, the prices of these houses have gone up dramatically, right?
Right.
You would say, okay? $1 million house today, it's like you were buying a house
For 600,000.
for 500, 600,000.
Right. A couple years ago.
A couple years ago. And a lot of people with their jobs, a lot of people have been in these houses that long, 15-year mortgage, 30-year mortgage. Maybe their house is paid off already.
Right.
But, and the question is always, where do I go?
Right.
If you have $1 million coming in, okay, find a place to go. Go rent until you decide what you want to do. Go buy a house, somewhere else, maybe, in Florida or whatever. You always wanted to do that. But now if you got $1 million, I'm telling you, you're getting 5% guaranteed money in the bank on a CD or a money market. $1 million will get you 50 grand a year.
Right.
Go rent something for 3,500 or $4,000 a year, a month.
You buy real estate to sell.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is this is the highest you'll ever get for your home.
Right.
And if you want to downsize, financially, it makes sense. Even if you have to rent, what you're saying, it still makes sense to sell your home.
To sell your home, correct. Think about it. If you put $1 million away and you're getting 5% at 50 grand, okay, even if your rent is $4,000 a month, you're not paying it.
Right.
Your interest paid it.
Right. I think what happens is a lot of times people are scared to change. Right.
Correct.
They they're uncomfortable. They think that they're by renting. Let's say we do that scenario. They feel like they're throwing their money away, and very similar to like people who have investment properties and they don't want to sell. Right. Oh, I don't want to pay capital gains. Right. But yeah, like if you have $1 million investment property and you sell, let's just say you 15% capital gain. Nobody ever got poor by paying capital gains.
There you go.
You made money.
You made money.
Right.
If you pay taxes, that means you're making money.
Correct. And my point is you could sell the home like right now. Like you can sell your investment property. You can sell your primary residence. It's okay to sell it and maybe rent. You're not throwing your money away because what you waste on rent, you've made tenfold by the influx of the proceeds of your sale of your home.
That's right.
And I don't know if the message isn't getting out there, and that's kind of what what's great with what you're doing with this podcast is, we have a good time, we make fun of your shirts, we drink wine, but you're giving out very good real estate advice, and I hope it gets out there and people realize this because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity of how high prices are. You won't see this again for a while.
Oh, absolutely. I tell everybody, I tell family members, are you ready to make that move? Yeah, maybe next year or whatever. Don't wait till next year.
Right.
We don't know what next year is going to bring. We know what's going to happen now.
Right.
Take it and get out.
Correct.
Where am I going? Go rent.
You'll find someplace.
Until you figure out where you're going to go. My thing is with all my customers, okay, when I go get a listing and they are selling. Vito, what happens if, somebody wants to close in 30 days? What do I do? If somebody comes in and offers you a boatload of money and says, I want to close in 30 days, I would sign on the dotted line, figure out where I'm going afterwards, and say, I'm out of here.
Right. There's also programs where the seller can sell you the house in 30 days, but as the seller, you can rent back your home for an additional 30 days. So you have 60 days.
Right.
Even a little longer.
Yeah. I just did that with one of them.
Right.
Where, they weren't ready their house wasn't ready.
Right.
So the one stipulation was they got a lot of money over asking.
Yep.
Was since we had multiple offers, the seller was in the driver's seat, asked they needed at least a month to rent back.
Right.
28 days or whatever it was. And the buyer agreed to it.
Right. I mean, it's insured. The homeowner's insurance insures you. Both parties are protected.
Correct.
It's a great option. And I think it's great advice. Vito, this has been great. It's not too often that I get to go on a show and interview a real estate legend. as
Oh,
yourself.
I'm a legend. all of a
Legend.
sudden. I think
Mr. Fairfield.
The shirts are the
Yeah,
legend. not
that's
me.
right. We're gonna definitely find a sign for you behind that says Mr. Fairfield.
Mr.
so-
Fairfield. There you go.
But-
And
but thank you.
No problem.